All right, what is up, everybody? Shadow Scout 0013 here, reporting in for another list build. Sorry for such a long delay this week, but I figured I'd try to give you as many Shadow Collective lists as I can for skirmish. So that's what we will go over today. And yeah, work has just been kicking my butt, and there's been a lot of stuff I've been trying to program and do. So yeah, it's been awesome. But yeah, we'll go ahead and go over this. If you haven't already, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. This definitely helps a lot. And it's awesome, seeing all of you guys subscribe and leave comments and, joining the Discord, I should say. And I know I haven't been on there for a little bit. Again, it's been kicking my butt as much as, work can kick my butt. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to be able to see all this. So pikes are in so many lists. Everyone wants to try them out. And I also saw that. Plus, I wanted to go over, so because I saw that, I wanted to go over a lot of Black Sun today and kind of focus on them and just see what's going on out there. I like the pikes. I like them a lot because of the amount of dodges they generate and can generate, and the fact that they cancel crits. I don't have to worry about rolling as much with white dice, but you're still going to be rolling with them if they get, ganged up on. So it's better than nothing. And yeah, I don't know. I like pikes a lot, and their guns I like more. But we're gonna go over the Black Sun and a few other people. That way, your skirmish lists aren't just Black Sun. No, there was a good little, if I go back and I'm just looking at some of the things that I did. Let's see. There we go. So, I did a 7-act Black Sun skirmish list, and it wasn't bad. It has the, speeder truck with the frenzied gunner, comms jammer, so he can get in and just try to shoot. He's got the gonk droid because he's going to be getting in to deliver your Black Sun enforcers right here with the scatter gun, the Black Sun enforcer, and the frag grenades. And then you've got, a few other Shadow Collective core units. We have a Magdet enforcer, and the other ones just have the extra mini. So no one crazy in there. And then you've got 2 naked Black Sun Vigos. Now, if you really wanted to save, 3 points and have 4 points total, you could give yourself, something for the Black Sun, but there's really nothing that you'd be able to give. Now, you can take away anything on here. Maybe you wanted to get rid of the Gonk Droid and the Comms Jammer because sometimes you're just trying to get in there. You're using the Backworld Medic for as long as you can. And in a skirmish list, you might be able to keep the AA5 for a little bit. You don't have to have that Comms Jammer on there. And if you wanted, then what I could do is you could change that out and give yourself maybe the scattergun guy and maintain a bunch here still. If you wanted to keep, your Magdet enforcer and maybe stack up a little bit more, maybe you wanted another Magdet over here, that kind of gives you at least a little bit more in another one of these units. And yeah. And then if you wanted to, instead of having the Magdet enforcer here, you can just go here and just do another Black Sun enforcer, leaving you with about 9 extra points. You still have the speeder truck. So if you wanted, honestly, I would probably either go with lead by example, or I would go with the electro binoculars. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for and what you want. If you want to make sure that they're not panicking off the board because they might get shot at, or there's a lot of suppressive stuff out there that, because of the Blizzard Force being pretty active and Empire being pretty active, again, yes, go Empire. That lead by example might actually be worth it, especially since they have Dauntless and they're going to they might have to give themselves another suppression to get 2 actions, basically move and then whatever action they want. Because Dauntless is just a free move, giving yourself suppression. So, I mean, it's not bad. That's probably why I would go with that, leaving you again with the 799 and all that good stuff. That's just, a Black Sun Enforcer list that I'd come up with, mostly just the AA5 to get the Black Sun Enforcers with the frag grenades as close as possible. So much red dice. If you're in that range 1, you're shooting 5 red dice with the frag grenades, plus another 2 red dice. So that's 7 red dice, surging to crit, pierce 1. That's a lot of dice. Now, you don't have to have the frag grenades. Say you didn't want the frag grenades. And instead of the Black Sun Enforcer, maybe we can try to figure out a way to get the Black Sun Vigo so that you already surge. Maybe we could just get rid of maybe this right here, giving yourself quite a few more activation or quite a few more stuff points to give. Maybe now you wanted to actually do a electro binoculars on that one, leaving you 5 extra points for a bid, or maybe you can still put comms jammer on the speeder truck. Nothing wrong with that. And since it's skirmish, I don't care. You're not really. I think it'd be red player would be better in skirmish for the fact that there's only 4 objectives and conditions and deployments anyway. So you already know these are the things. There's nothing fancy. So 500 points would be, I think, the best. That's 7 activations. You've got some pretty heavy hitting stuff, Yeah. But, that's just one of the little skirmish lists I came up with. That was just generic. I wasn't going to really go over it very much. But now that I brought it up and it has 7 activations, I might as well go ahead and show you guys. But yeah, I'm going to talk about another one with Boss. Now, before I do, I know I didn't accidentally do this before, but go ahead and join the Discord and head over to thebirdacademy.com for $15 off, or $15 for, a membership that is, however long you want. It's got 3, 4, 5, 6 day week workout plans. They're all 12-week long. I've got abs and core, corrective exercise, coaching videos, example meal plans, stuff like that. All right. If you haven't checked out, go ahead and check it out. I promise it's really good. And so we're going to talk about Reptilian Rampage. It's going to have Bosk and Black Sun. Obviously, we want all the reptiles possible. So honestly, right now, I'm going to staple what I usually staple to Bosk, and that's Hunter and targeting scopes. Now, if you wanted to and you really needed it, maybe he could be getting close since it is a skirmish. So maybe tenacity wouldn't be that bad. He's going to have enrage anyway, so he's going to be able to charge. So tenacity wouldn't be the worst. He's got Pierce 1 with his melee. So maybe if you did add that extra red dice, you'd be able to, hit with 5, Pierce 1, 2 red, 2 black, and white. Not bad. I feel like that's cool. He might have some surge tokens if you're not going with him. That way he can use them for the defense. And you're not going to worry about courage if he's enraged. You'll just be able to move, charge, and get that. So that's why tenacity wouldn't be the worst. Seize the initiative would actually also be helpful, just in case you do need to have him into the fray. Sure. Offensive push. If into the fray, I would say if you're, again, getting close, but if you're going to have that, you might as well just go with tenacity. And then offensive push. Yeah, that's not bad because you can move, get that free aim, but then there's a lot of other ways for Boss to do what he needs to do. So that's why I don't really use those extra points at the moment, especially. Now we need some commanders, and we want to go with the Black Sun Vigo, who has aid, which, he's going to be able to give out an aim, a dodge, or a surge to anyone that is in line of sight and range 1 of him, and he'll gain a suppression. And then he can also, he also got Dauntless, so he can also get that extra move action if he is suppressed. So if he does have 2 suppression on him, he can use Dauntless to get that 2 actions, basically. And then independent aim, so whenever he's, not given an order, he's going to get an aim. All right. So this is great. This is awesome. Now, you don't have to have any of the electro binoculars on them or anything because, with independent aim, you can aid that to someone, which is going to give you a suppression. And then if you take an aim, you can give that to someone through aid, giving you the second suppression. And then for your second action, you can recover unless you needed to move or anything. Or you can use the Dauntless. It's just up to you, but you got to be very careful. But we're going to go with them. And we're going to go with 2 of them at the moment. And let's go with some of these guys. Black Sun Enforcers. And at the moment, let's go ahead and ramp up some stuff. Let's go ahead and give them the scatter gun. Let's go with 3 of these guys. Maybe we go with 1 magnet. That way we save at least 14 more points, which we can at least use to give 1 Black Sun Vigo. And here maybe Black Sun Enforcer there. It's just, so if we took out the scattergun, yes, we do have extra points to have 7 activations with Bosk and still get a lot done. Like what you could do again is if you just wanted to, you can give the Black Sun Enforcer just the regular guy, leaving you with 11 points to be able to either use lead by example, and you've got 7 activations, all reptiles, including Bosk. And you can do a lot with those command cards too. So, and at least you've got a hero who can do something. But again, everyone's trying to get close in melee. But your Black Suns, they're pretty good at close range because of the firepower that they have. They've got 2 dice at range 1 to 2. They don't have any surges, so that's what you're really hoping for that Black Sun Vigo for. But yeah, because I don't know what to say. If you wanted to max out at the 500 exactly, I don't know why I don't have that on 500. By the way, sorry. You could double up your Magnet Enforcers. You'd have a Scattergun with the Black Sun Vigo as one of your main heavy hitters. You'd have just a regular Black Sun Enforcer group with just an extra mini. But you've got some impact in here. Obviously, you have impact 3 for each of these guys and blast, but that's at range 1. So again, people can get close to you. It's going to hurt a lot for them, but there's maybe a few other things that I would probably give them. I mean, maybe you give them grenades, but at the same time, I wouldn't do that. I would just keep them the way this is. That's 500 points for 7 activations, just Reptilian Rampage in a way. This is one way to do it. The other way is to have 6 activations, but you deck them out a little bit more. So maybe you kind of give one of these Magnet Enforcers one of those. We take away an activation, and then you give the other Magnet Enforcer maybe the Black Sun Vigo. Or you upgrade one of these to the Scattergun. Now you've got 6 activations. There's still a lot more you could do. Maybe you can have this Black Sun Vigo giving out electro binoculars. And then, yeah, I mean, it's 6 activations, so not the best. I'd probably go with the 7 activation one. So maybe just kind of like making sure that you just have the bare necessity of what you got to have. Honestly, get rid of these. There you go. Boom. 7 activations, all reptilians, doing what they can. Now, obviously, you can go ahead and just take all of the new ones. I would take Reptilian Rampage, Aggression, and then Lying in Wait and Discretion. There you go. Now, let's move on to another one. We'll go ahead and clear that. Let's try a Cad Bane and Pikes. Why not? Or let's try Darth Maul. Not to Pikes. I meant Black Sun. So let's try Maul with I would say in close range, they're going to have a lot of special forces. They're going to have a lot of other stuff. So you could go with Force Choke. That would be good to at least definitely go ahead and get one of the heavies. Or if there's Wookiees, give them a wound. What you can, at least for sure. But Force Push, definitely. Saber Throw wouldn't be the worst. Burst of Speed would save a lot of points and get you in there. And honestly, probably that's what I would do. Definitely give him Vigilance to keep hopefully any of those, dodge tokens that he gets. And then this one again can be pretty tricky. Seize the Initiative wouldn't be that bad because with the Shadow Collective, you're trying to give order. You're trying to give no orders out. And then if that's the case, you're going to try to hopefully make sure that you are, giving one of your guys improvised orders if you don't have the Seize the Initiative on him. Tenacity wouldn't be that bad because if you wanted to save points, you don't have to equip anything to him and save a little bit. And then we got to have a few Black Sun Enforcers at least. Now, I know the scattergun's pretty expensive, making this a pretty expensive already. And I would say you're not going to be able to have any kind of room for the Mandalorians, especially if you take the Black Suns. And honestly, if we kind of wanted to make this a little bit different, I would put the pike. I can't talk right now. Put the pikes in there with the vigilance just to make sure that they're maintaining that dodge on the pike foot soldiers, just in case they wind up taking and keeping those dodges. Or maybe hopefully can go with the pike syndicate capo later and give out dodges, and hopefully he's the last one that activates, and then that way you can keep the dodges on the other guys, recover, and then you're all set to go again. Now, you're going to want to possibly have some long range to cover for Maul. Now, that's the best thing I could say. You don't have to have any of these guys, but obviously the pike capo is going to give you that surge that you don't have for offense, which would be really, really good. It just kind of depends on what route you want to go, and if we can get as many activations in here as we can. So we can do 6 activations so far, 498. No extra upgrades, just the Pike Syndicate capo. Now, maybe we try and readjust a few things to kind of save a few points and see what else we can get in there. And then maybe do 1 Whip Soldier and see if we can, since we can have extra points, add the grenade. So gives us 25 more points that we can do with what we want. Not quite enough for another activation, though. That's the best we'll be able to get is 6 activations with this. So if you really, really wanted to, you might as well go ahead and go all out with the pike foot soldiers. You do have a lot more. You've got a few more points left, so you might as well go ahead and give them something. Now, if you did want the electro whip soldier, I'd definitely put the pike capo extra guy on there and the frag grenade. That's definitely a range 1 threat, because then in melee, they can use their 2 white. It's not really going to matter for anything, but maybe if you wanted to change this guy for the capo, so whenever you do have to melee, you can get that extra surge just in case, because they'll have independent surge 1. But it's a possibility. So you don't want to rely on it, but you can at the same time. And then instead, since we have tenacity on there, let's change vigilance, one of these, to improvised orders. And then we still have a lot of points left. So we can still give out maybe portable scanners, leaving you with enough points to still give yourself an extra guy, at least beefing up a little bit more of the units that you do have. That's one way with Maul. The other one I had was, I think, with Maul and a bus. I'm not sure how well it would work in skirmish, but if you guys wanted to try and check it out, honestly, just do the medic. You have Maul coming in since he's going to be riding in it, honestly, this is where I would go with either force choke or saber throw and force push. And since they're both 5 points, I'm just going to go with saber throw to 4 red dice, pierce 2. Keep the vigilance and then tenacity. That would also be pretty good since he's going to be getting in there. It doesn't really matter if this speeder truck goes. If you wanted comms jammer, you can add comms jammer just for it to sit somewhere and be a nuisance so that they need and want to take it out, giving cover to some of your other guys. And then again, maybe provide a little bit of cover for Maul with a few of these guys. And then maybe we go ahead. We'll have to change one of these guys, honestly. We'll give an extra pike foot soldier just because we want to make the dice pool that we can shoot farther bigger. And then your pike foot soldiers can stay in the back if they need to. These pike capos are going to be able to hand out dodges like crazy or an aim with aid. And then Maul's going to be able to get in and wreak some havoc with the speeder truck. So hopefully they're focused a lot on the speeder truck. with your 6 activations, it's still the same amount of activations that you had, with the last list with Maul and Pikes. You just are able to have a bus. It can't shoot, but it can definitely, wreak some havoc, provide some cover. Yeah, honestly, that's just one way to have that AA5 speeder truck with it. And clear. Let's try Cad Bane. Oh, no. I want to try a skirmish list with some Mandos. So let's try Gar Saxon. And let's try a few of these guys. Now, they're going to be in close range. It's going to be close. It's going to be quick. It's 5 rounds. Elimination, honestly, you're best with Rook Cast or the Super Commando Gunslinger. But because of how expensive they are and it's skirmish, at the moment, let's just try the Super Commandos. And let's just go ahead and give them their Super Combat Shields. And we're going to have a Pike for sure. And we might as well go ahead and give them the whip to stay in the back or to move slowly while the Mandalorians obviously can go forward. And so we have 6 activations with Gar Saxon with no upgrades yet. So let's go ahead and give him some upgrades. We have plenty of room for upgrades. I want the combat shield big time. We're on a 3x3 table, so we're not very far. So I'm not thinking about the Gar Saxon rifle. I'm thinking about more of the jetpacks. And then obviously everyone's getting really, really close. So especially if there's swarms of, pikes, again, maybe everyone's running some pikes and lists. So maybe use the flame projector to go towards them. And that gives you a little bit more room for some points. So honestly, what I would do is use up close and personal because he's going to be getting really close. And that's what these are for. I mean, besides the jetpack rockets being range 2 to 3, yeah, he'll be able to get that at range 2, that, dodge while having blast and impact 2. Then I'll be able to move up and use either his hopefully pistol or his flame projector. Depends on who's coming up close. But if you wanted a Mando list, I can't see why this wouldn't work to have 6 activations rather than 5, because you might be able to get one more Mandalorian commando in there, but you'd have to sacrifice something, and you have to have 2. Yeah, this is the probably the best you're gonna get unless you took out the Pike Capo and Electro Whips, but that's not even anywhere enough. So yeah, I think that this would be cool because you got 3 Mandalorian units in here. You've got at least heavies in your core units, and you've got a Pike Capo that can go with them anywhere. So they're going to be slowing people down, especially if it's, what is it called? Not breakthrough, but for 500 points. I'm sorry. Breach. Then at least these guys are going to be able to hopefully stay in the back. They've got immobilize 1, and you've got 2 of them. So hopefully they can gang up on someone trying to get through and give them immobilize 2 for the next turn, if you can time that right as well. So yeah. Now you still have 2 points you can do anything with. So maybe you want to give Gar Saxon situational awareness for him to have at least. It's not a bad idea. But yeah. Okay. We might as well go with one with CAD. We haven't done one with CAD yet. Let's see. We'll make that skirmish. And I wonder what we could do with CAD and Maul. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot, but let's see what we can do. So situational awareness, up close and personal. Yeah, that would be really good to have. At least let's give him prepared supplies as well. Electric gauntlets would be great. Oh man, I'm trying to see how bare bones I can make this, because I don't want to make him too expensive. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and give him up close and personal. And then we can't have 2 operatives. So what you have to do is you have to give Maul the Darksaber. And then maybe you go ahead and give him force push. burst of speed. You want it to be cheap. And since he's going to have the dark saber, since you can't have two operatives, you can go with tenacity, sure, but I think seize the initiative would also be not that bad. We have to have our pike foot soldiers, and maybe we can have one more. Yeah. And then give this guy the electro whip at the moment. Oh, man. So with 5 extra points, either you can get rid of seize the initiative if you want to keep up close and personal on him. Yeah, you can get rid of vigilance, maybe if you didn't think that you're going to be keeping a lot of dodges on him. Honestly, it's just really hard to choose. Maybe you take up close and personal away. That's still 6 activations. You've got 2 heavies. You still got a random one of these pike foot soldiers. You've still got a capo that can do what they need to. And then you've got Cad and Maul that can hopefully wreak some havoc close range. 6 activations isn't bad. It's just Cad Bane is really by himself. Now, of course, we can leave these guys naked, go ahead and keep up close and personal on Cad. We still have plenty of points left if you wanted to go ahead and give him the electro gauntlets. That's makes them a heck of a lot harder to play against if you can keep them alive. And these guys open. So these guys are probably going to fall quickly. It just kind of depends. Honestly, this is a very list that you'd gamble with, is what I would say. But hey, it could be fun. You still have 6 activations. That's all that, I'm looking at. And then you have a good melee threat and then a pretty good, they've got to change some plans because of Bounty Hunter, unless they've already planned for it, because I feel like we're going to be seeing Bounty Hunters in almost every list. And that's what I'm predicting because of these little Pike Syndicate capos and because of the generic generals. Honestly, that's going to be the easiest target for anyone to go after. But you're going to be gambling that because you're going to try to spend the whole game. And that's just a minor character that anyone can hide. So you've got to make your decisions. But I think that we're going to be seeing Bounty Hunters in a lot of different lists. That is my take. That's my view. And I'll go ahead and leave it there, guys. Yeah, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Definitely like this video. And if there were any other lists that maybe you would like to see soon, let me know. I know this was like a little shotgun of lists and kind of like some ideas and just kind of thinking at the same time. I haven't had very much time this week to put together some lists, but I did for some of those. And I think that, all of the Shadow Collective is fun and everyone can do so much with all of these different, ideas and factions and battle forces. And I mean, you can see I've got a ton of different stuff. I mean, Cad with Pike Skirmish is, I think, 7 activations that I had. And you've got pretty stacked lists here. So you've got the Pike foot soldiers with the fragment grenade and the extra guy. And then this one with the electro whip and the concussion grenade. You've got 2 Pike foot soldiers with long range and the extra guy. So you've got really stacked core. You've got at least improvised orders and vigilance on those capos. And you've got Cad Bane stacked out to where he should be and what I just had on Maul. This is 7 activations, $7.99, giving you the blue player. I don't know how to make it to where you're getting exactly 500 on this one. It's a little tough, but yeah. Yep. Obviously, you could probably give the Pikes captain a grappling hook and give yourself the red player. That's just up to you. I'll leave a list to the 7 activation ones for you guys in the description below. And that way you can just kind of check those out just in case you want to test it. I mean, I think this one right here, it doesn't have Maul and a heavy melee threat, but you've got 2 electro whip soldier units that are pretty stacked out. If you can keep them alive long enough for the melee person to get there, because they're probably going to go after your foot soldiers and might target your electro whip soldiers. So you just got to be very, very careful on how you maneuver that. That's I mean, as much as I like this one, that's just the only thing is that melee. But hey, who knows? This might really, really work well. And maybe you guys might really like them. But yeah. All right. And if you haven't already, go ahead and head to theburnacademy.com. Go ahead and subscribe for 15 bucks a month. Again, you get 12-week workout plans and in 3, 4, 5, 6 day weeks plans, I should say. I can't talk. And alongside the 3, 4, 5, 6 day week plans that are all 12 weeks, you get home workouts, you get ab and core program, you get corrective exercise program, you get my personal stuff that I've been doing recently, and then coaching videos, example meal plans. You get to track your progress. You can, record your progress photos, anything that you can think of for working out. This is pretty much going to help you in the gym to track everything going on for 15 bucks. It is basically having a personal trainer in your pocket for 15 bucks. And that is not bad. And all the stuff talks about form. And then in here, again, go ahead and check out all this stuff. This is a lot of fun to be able to see kind of what people come up with and the different things that they're painting and doing. And I mean, I'm going to go ahead and shout out this AA5. I think this AA5 basing was legit, man. Super nice to have that. And he said he inspired it off of Andor. So, man, this is a really cool group. I'm really liking you guys. And yeah, feel free if there's any other, stuff that you want me to add, I'll add on there. Just let me know. But all right, guys, I will catch you later in the next video, and y'all have a good rest of your day. I will see you later.